Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. For the record, today's date is July 9th, 2019. At this moment, we will have a moment of silence, silent reflection, or silent prayer. Thank you. Supervisor Elliott, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Clerk of the board, can we have a roll call, please?
Supervisor Miller?
Here.
Supervisor Patty?
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen?
Here.
Supervisor Elliott?
Here.
And Chairman Villapudua.
Here. At this time, we'll have a presentation. It's a presentation by San Joaquin County Fire Chiefs Association, San Joaquin County District Attorney, San Joaquin County Sheriff regarding the 4th of July operations and enforcement activities. Chief Martell, Chief Sheriff Withrow, and District Attorney Salazar, please.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors, County Administrator's Office, and County Council. I'm sorry, I was looking for Mark. But anyways, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to give our presentation this morning on the after effect of 4th of July. This is the first time we're doing it after the 4th, opposed to prior to the 4th. We used to come up and do that due to circumstances. June's board meeting was early for us. We weren't able to do it. But again, we're very grateful. This initially started back in 2013, I believe, with Mrs. Nino coming on board as our county administrator. She brought up to this association and said, would you like to give some collaboration what we do for 4th of July and prepare for the worst and hope for the best is basically the way we took it. So we're very fortunate. We're grateful that took place, and it's been ever since. Every year we come up here and give a report. This year we can do a little better because we'll give you the report of what just took place. So I'd like to state that it was busy again for the cities predominantly, not the county area as bad. I'd like to state there was 657 calls for a 24-hour period for the 4th of July. 454 were fires, and the majority of those fires took place in a city in the county of San Joaquin, which is the predominantly 5 out of the 7 cities took the brunt of the fire call volume. A lot to do with population and a lot to do with the illegal fireworks. Although we've been combating them here for the 3rd year in a row, I believe, and our district attorney will speak on that. It's working. We see it's working. We're out there getting the individuals off of the web pages that are selling out there, trying to solicit for business. We're reducing the illegals and just allowing the safe and sanes in the cities. But there's still work to be done. Again, 454 calls in 24 hours on just fires alone. That's pretty large amount. But on the county side, especially my district, this is the 2nd year in a row that my district this year had 1 fire, and that's not the norm. So we're grateful. There's still a lot of illegal works out there, but other than that, for us, we're very grateful. So if I may, I can have the district attorney come and speak, and she can give a little bit about the campaign and what's going on her end. Oh, correction, the sheriff.
All right, Tori forced me to go next. All right, yeah, we were very proactive this year. This was being my first year in charge over there, so what we did is what we do best. We go out and we try and be proactive and stop it before it happens, before it gets to the fire. So we put a team together of 19 deputies and 1 sergeant, so 20 people. We had 6 marked units, 7 unmarked units, and we went out and just invaded our county and was very proactive. If we saw people starting to set up to do fireworks, we swooped in and tried and stopped it before it happened. We also did a 3-day impact of down in South County, where we partnered with parole and other agencies, and Tracy and Escalon, all the different cities down there, where we had 50 plus officers out doing probation search, parole searches, because it's usually our repeat offenders are the ones that are doing most of the damage out there. And it just worked out great. We got tons of fireworks out there, kept our EOD very, very active in collecting that stuff. So it was relatively impactful because our calls were down this year. We went from 177 last year to only 108 calls for service this year. So made a big difference, and it clearly made a difference in the fires in the area. So we were real happy with our results. I'll turn it over to Tori.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. The San Joaquin County District Attorneys will fully prosecute all of these cases that are involving the fireworks. Thank you.
Unless there's any questions, this concludes our presentation. And again, we're very thankful for the support from the Board of Supervisors, our county administrator, our county council.
Any questions? I have a question. Supervisor Patty.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Just out of comparison, what were the fire calls last year, and what would be the fire calls on a normal summer evening? Just so we have a relative comparison.
So the call volume last year, are you looking for specific numbers?
Yeah, like you reported how many fires this year? It was 200 and something?
Yeah, so this year there was 454 fires. We exceeded over 500 last year, just in county-wide, including the districts and what have you. This year alone, the blunt of it was in the cities at 454, but it was over 500 last year on the fires.
Okay, and what would be a normal weekend in the midsummer?
You know, it depends on, for example, 4th of July hit on a Thursday, so there was a 4-day weekend, so to speak, and people were preparing prior to and after to shoot them off. So it depends on when that holiday lands in reference to the 4th of July and the busyness. But we're already busy for the fire season that's already declared month prior in June. We're already preparing for the fire season. And there's really no such thing as fire season from June to back in the day to October. Now it's almost year round. Mm-hmm. But the impact we've received this year was a lot less for the districts in the county than it has been the last few years.
Okay, let's say 3 weeks ago, what would be the call volume for fires on a weekend?
Well, I would have to get those research to give you an accurate number from our dispatch center. I don't have those handy with me to give you an, but I'll make sure I'll forward them over to your office on what it would be on a weekend.
Okay.
A lot of these fires are probably, we're speculating were caused due to the fireworks that were caused. That's the reason why.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
No
Keep
problem.
up the good work, all the departments. Great job, guys.
Supervisor Wynn, we have a couple more questions.
Well, first, I just want to comment. I think it's great that the county comes together, both the sheriff's department. I'm sure the police chiefs and police departments did a similar effort, and certainly the fire chiefs. And I know that they've all been very concerned about illegal fireworks and certainly the fires, et cetera. So, and I appreciate the district attorney prosecuting these cases because I think that makes it sends a message in a deterrent. So I think from what you're saying and from what I've heard from the past, I think we're making progress. I think the information that we're providing to the public before the 4th of July and certainly after, as your report states, is I think we're heading in the right direction. So anyway, I want to thank all of you certainly for your efforts because without your help, we couldn't make a dent in the problem. So thank you.
Supervisor Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to add my commendation as well. This is a program that has been ongoing now for several years to try to prepare in advance and get the word out and increase the enforcement as well. And it looks like it's paying off. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
I believe that's all the questions. Thank you for that presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the time and effort.
We now have a presentation from our district attorney, presentation to the San Joaquin County Justice System Youth Leadership Academy.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board, and Ms. Nito, CAO. On behalf of the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office, we would like to thank the Board of Supervisors and the CAO of the great county of San Joaquin for continuing to engage and allow us the opportunity to bring in 45 students from 30 different high schools across the great county on our 2019 Youth Leadership Academy. This year we had several applicants that we weren't unable to take due to the size of our building, but we're working to continue to engage these students. They spend 5 weeks with us. They're very committed. They're here from 8:30 to 12 every day, working and learning about the criminal justice system and the makeup of the government in which we currently live in. They're outstanding young men and women. The future is very bright for our county based upon the enthusiasm, the brilliance, and the hard work and dedication that they've all exhibited. Further, would like to thank all the department heads who have been so supportive and attended trainings and opportunities. The sheriff's office treated them, and I'd like to thank Sheriff Withrow to a day out at the jail, tour of the jail, and SWAT training. There's a list of every day of speakers, and I can't name them all, but I can tell you anytime I call a department head in the county, they immediately respond and immediately help the youth in our community, and I think you should be very proud and very grateful for that as well. So with that, I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about their journey.
Hello and good morning to the Board of Supervisors. My name is Nicholas Chavez and I'm a student at Middle College High School. It has been an amazing privilege and opportunity to be involved in this summer's Youth Leadership Academy. I'd like to personally thank the outstanding District Attorney Tori Verber Salazar for making this academy possible. I also would like to acknowledge the program coordinators Lisa, Jamie, and Terry for their time and hard work towards creating an enthusiastic and empowering environment for the rest of my YLA family and myself. Lastly, thank you to my extraordinary mother for leading me in the right direction and getting me involved in the areas my heart desires. During YLA, I challenged myself to become acquainted with everyone, regardless of race, gender, and age. I overlooked all of that because I knew every one of us had a goal. We all had aspirations that we would accomplish, but more importantly, we were all on the same journey together and making it possible. These were not only my classmates, but they quickly became my family. Not only did I make valuable contacts, but I received many valuable messages along the way. One of those messages touched base on the responsibilities of operating a vehicle. Sometimes we as people, we don't comprehend the trauma and hardship that can follow one bad decision that we make, and that idea alone can help keep our drivers more safe on the road and aware. After learning about the growing homeless population and touring the homeless shelter, it was an immediate realization of mine that we must take action. One thing I'd like to advance for the future of San Joaquin County is to provide more shelter space and access to a shelter, with a pet holding space included. Many homeless people rely on the companionship from their animals to get them through the night, and the current policy prohibits bringing any animals within the facility. Another memorable experience has got to be the officer-involved shooting simulation. In essence, we were placed in 3 different high emergency scenarios to see how do we react to each situation. A valuable message I pulled from that experience is that perceptions of an officer in a body camera could be completely different. Not only that, but our brains can be overloaded with stress and ultimately discard information that's not relevant to the situation. Ending that week on an interesting note, we dived into our mental shackles and gathered every bias stereotype we could for a lesson on implicit bias. I was shocked to see how prevalent these thoughts were within our subconscious and how we inherently go about classifying individuals into their own racial categories. I'm sure I could go on and on about the vibrant experience I received through this academy, but to keep things short, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to stand before you all today, but more gratefully, thank you for making the Youth Leadership Academy possible.
Good morning. My name is Gloria McMaster, and I'm proud to say that I was born and raised here in Stockton, and as of next year, I will be a sophomore attending Pacific Law Academy. Now, I, as growing up in Stockton, was aware of the occasional shootings and the yelling going down the street and of the certain lots filled with tents and children roaming around. I was never understood why it was happening, why this had to happen in our community. At least it wasn't until I came to YLA. Because here I really learned the meaning and gravity behind these sorts of things. And at times it was a lot to take in, but really we need to know this, especially as a youth and going into the future and as a part of the community, because like it or not, it's a part of who we are. Now, I've always felt as if I could make a change and make a difference in the world, and I wanted to help others feel safe in their community. I just never really knew how I could do this. So at a young age, I decided that I would try and go into the criminal field, the criminal law, to hopefully help others make a difference. But when I came to YLA, I realized that I can make a huge difference by doing some of the simple things, from listening to others when they're in a time of need, to looking at them in the eye when I'm speaking to them, or to simply volunteer a couple hours at the nearby homeless shelter. Now, I do have no doubt that a lot of students at YLA will say similar things about their experience, but that just shows that YLA is, because what we have is true. I mean, through YLA, we learned the importance of communicating with others. We now understand that to make a difference, we need to make our voices heard. and we all have a better understanding of our surroundings. But most importantly, we were taught how to believe in ourselves and to stand up for what is right. And these consistent testimonies act as a proof beyond reasonable doubt that YLA is an extraordinary program because it takes the time to educate our youth, our future, on issues that our county are going through. And for these very reasons, I strongly believe that Stockton needs to create more programs to teach the youth our future on issues as important as climate change to as simple as a misdemeanor. Because programs like these helps our youth and our community grow for the better. Thank you.
Hello and good morning. My name is Muhammad Ali and I recently graduated from Lodi High School. I would first like to start off by thanking my amazing Law and Order teacher, Mrs. Natalie Santana, for encouraging me to sign up for this program, as well as the Honorable Judge Villanos and the Best District Attorney, Tori Verby Salazar, for this amazing opportunity. Our community needs more inspiring opportunities for us youth. This program has opened many doors for my future. I learned things that I never would have known and saw things that I never would have seen. I am beyond honored to have been a part of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My favorite, most memorable part of this program was the active shooter scenario, where we all got to experience firsthand what it's like to be in the shoes of law enforcement officers during stressful situations, and of course sitting in court was also a memorable moment. My thank yous also extend to each and every person who gave their time, presentations, and of course brought snacks and donated money to our class in order for us to go on our field trips. There's also a very important person that I would like to personally thank and give a shout out to. Her name is Lisa Acosta. She has been by far one of the most inspiring and encouraging person I have ever met in my life. And without her dedication to this amazing program, none of this would have happened. She is the person you can go to for anything, from getting lost in downtown Stockton on the first day and being an hour late to class like I did, to being a victim of a very heinous, brutal crime. She knows where to send you and how to help you. And I would also like to thank you guys, the Board of Supervisors, for allowing us to use that room and what it contains. I look forward to coming back to this courthouse and working as a prosecutor. Thank you all very much for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and thank you for allowing me to give my feedback about this great honor I've had. I wish every single one of you, as well as my 5-week classmates whom I've met on this wonderful journey, the best of luck throughout their entire lives and whatever they decide to pursue. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Olivia Kahn, and I'm an incoming junior at Aspire Langston Hughes Academy. Growing up, I was and still am surrounded by a lot of violence. This goes from my family and friends to me myself being included. This has inspired me to break the generational invitations to gangs, drugs, and violence and aspire profession in law. Attending the Youth Leadership Academy has changed me drastically over the course of 5 weeks. This has opened many doors and provided amazing people along the way. Going through this program has taught and reassured me that things I've gone through, heard about, or seen is real, and there are people to help if needed. Things such as cyberbullying, substance abuse, domestic and teen dating violence, juvenile gangs, and the generational invitation to violence and homelessness are things that I myself or loved ones have experienced. This program has also taught me things I was not aware of, such as the Bulldog Project, human trafficking issues in the county, and whatever situation you might find yourself in, you are not alone, because there are people here to help you. I believe sometime in the beginning of the program, one of the students had stated something, such as the youth is today and the youth of today is the future of tomorrow, and how must we change the future if we don't know about the present? Programs such as the Youth Leadership Academy should be accessible to youth all over the county, because we cannot tackle the issues of today if we don't know about them. This program has brought my attention to issues I've never thought were actual issues. With that, I would just like to thank Ms. Tori Verba Salazar, Ms. Acosta, and those who have supported us every step of the way. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Eliza Khan, and I am about to go into my senior year at Mountain House High School. The San Joaquin County Youth Leadership Academy has been an extremely insightful and fulfilling opportunity for me, and couldn't be more grateful for it. Along with the friends I made along the way, not only was I able to get firsthand experience through our many field trips and learn many aspects of the criminal justice system, but I also gained life advice, such as how to deal with mental health, how to drive safely, and what to do if I became a victim of a crime. One of my most memorable experiences this summer was a presentation given by Zephanie, who taught us to make global change by starting local. Using the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals as guidelines, she asked us, if we had the power, how would we improve our community? This is what I'm here to talk to you about today. I want San Joaquin County to place a greater emphasis on public transportation. Not only am I asking for more frequent bus schedules, switching from hourly intervals to every 15 minutes, but I'm also asking to instigate public transportation, connecting the cities throughout our county, specifically a train system similar to the Bay Area's BART. Although we do already have the ACE train, its scarce schedule and lack of routes ultimately prove ineffective. Like I said earlier, I live in Mountain House, and to give you a personal example of this, the only way I was able to be here today and every day of this program was by driving 19 miles both ways, with no other options if my car happened to break down. Public transportation in San Joaquin County will open up jobs, reduce traffic pollution and the risk of car crashes, and provide an opportunity for low-income people to get where they need to go, whether it be to school, work, or family, thus reducing the amount of poverty here. Now, while I hope you consider this proposal, I would like to express my thanks to Lisa, Jamie, D.A. Tori Salazar, and everyone else on the 7th floor of the old courthouse. I know for a fact that if not for their guidance, mentorship, and compassion, I would not have the confidence to speak in front of such a powerful audience today. And besides my cheesy personal growth, although that was nice, I've also made real connections here that will change my life. I've learned about new careers and their requirements. I've learned about internship opportunities. I've gained insight into college and life afterwards. And I've gained contacts with attorneys, detectives, crime scene investigators, victim advocates, judges, cops, assembly members, and most meaningful, the very individuals who made this program happen. And I would just like to say, if given the opportunity, I'd be honored to discuss my proposal again in the future. Thank you, ILA, and thank you, board members.
I can't name all the amazing volunteers that come in and do and participate. It's all purely volunteer. Everybody dedicates their time and energy to make this program successful. It's not funded. And so I want to thank all of them, including the Bureau of Investigation under leadership of Chief Dirksen, Probation Chief James, Miriam Lyle, the Public Defender, and the Superior Court, the legendary Judge Flavianos, as well as the team of Terry Booth and Jamie Jaime and Lisa Acosta, who run this program every day. It's amazing what they accomplish and the power that they give each student. So with that, I apologize if this is out of order, but we'd ask that each one of you come down and receive a small gift from the students, if that's okay, and take a photograph, if that would be okay, Chairman. Thank you. And then the certificate.